Hi, my name is Dr. Nathan Groot. I am a music instructor at the Arkansas School for Mathematics, Sciences, and the Arts, where I teach string ensemble, applied string lessons, and other music courses. Today we're going to be taking a look at Simple Gifts, which is in your audition packet for violin for the North region of the state concert orchestra audition for even years. I'm recording this in 2024. You'll find this in your All for Strings Book 3 on page 43. This is number 140. So first things first, when we approach a new piece, we want to look at our time signature, key signature. Our key signature has one flat. This is F major, the key of F major. We are in 4/4 time signature, so that means we're going to have 4 quarter notes per measure, but notice that our very first notes are a pickup or an anacrusis, so we're going to start 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and so we're going to start on the 4, and then our first full measure starts with that F. All right, so in our audition packet, I want to draw your attention to a very important line. It says, all printed fingerings are required as 2 of each 3 excerpts are shifting exercises. So we saw in the English folk song that put us in 3rd position a lot. This one puts us in 2nd position. You may have a lot of experience with 2nd position, or you might have a little bit less. This is something that a lot of us have a little bit less experience in, just because of how we are taught. A lot of our teaching is rooted in 1st position for a very long time, and then we just skip straight to 3rd position. 2nd position is often neglected, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's more difficult, and it doesn't need to be scary, and we'll talk through that today. Now, you'll notice in the very beginning of this, it has a 1 on the C, which puts us in 2nd position, and then there are no other fingerings. We have to take this to mean, in this case, that we have to stay in 2nd position. Now, if you were to show me a part that you were preparing for a concert or something, and it looked like this, I would say, let's change the fingerings, because in 2nd position, the whole piece doesn't really make a lot of sense staying in 2nd position. However, this is probably better thought of as an etude than a piece of music, even though it is a song we know, Simple Gifts. But this is an exercise to help familiarize you with 2nd position. So it's going to have some things that feel a little awkward. In particular, crossing a string for 1 note, which we generally try to avoid. So crossing from a 1st finger on a higher string to a 4th finger on a lower string and then right back. We try to avoid that usually, but in this case, it's a good way to practice it when we do have to do things like that. So first, let's talk about getting to 2nd position. So shifting, really quick reminder on shifting. When we shift 1st, 2nd, 3rd, the hand remains the same. It's just like a train on the train tracks. We lightly skim up. We don't want anything to come off, but we also don't want to squeeze. We don't want anything to go independently without the hand. The finger pressure comes off, and we just lightly glide up. If we're going all the way to 3rd, we're going to go up here, but in this case, we're only going to 2nd. So that's your reminder on shifting. From 1st through 2nd up to 3rd position, the hand remains the same. Your hand frame is the same. So how do we find the C natural that we start on? Because when you first start out in your audition, Simple Gifts might be first, it might be last. How do you find it? You can't really do that. So I would recommend imagining a B natural. Now, I know this key has a B flat in it. So I don't want you to imagine a B natural so much that you play one, but in order to find the C natural, it can be helpful because it's only a half step above that. So if we think about our 1st finger on a B natural on that A string, and then just think about going up a half step. So if we were to play it, it would sound like this. From B to C. If you need to practice that, you can go 1, 2, 1, 1, and back and forth. just to sort of get that in your hand. But that's something that you can find silently. So in the audition, you can just go, okay, I know where B is. I'm just going to find B. I'm going to move my hand up a half step. Now I'm in second position, and it's your starting note. So don't think about B natural after that. But in order to find that C, you can think about B natural. Okay. So we've made it to second position. Let's talk about our finger patterns. So starting at the highest, which I rarely do, I usually start on the lowest string, but on the highest string, we have a 2-3 finger pattern. G, A, B flat, C. So our second and third finger touch, okay? On the A string, we have C, D, E, and F natural. So this is a 3-4 finger pattern, our third and fourth finger touch. On the D string, it's another 3-4 finger pattern, F, G, A, B flat, our third and fourth finger touch. G string is an open finger pattern, but I don't believe we really get there in this excerpt, so we don't have to worry so much about it. Okay, so I'm going to go through really slowly and say the finger that I'm using as I play it. This is something you can follow along, and if there's anything you're unclear on is in terms of like what finger to use, this might be helpful. If not, if you've already got it, just skip ahead. So we're going to start out finding second position. 1, 1, okay? Ready and go. 1, 1, 4, 4, 1, 2, 4, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2. 1, 4, 1, 1, 1, 4, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 1, 4, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 4, 4, 4, 4, 1, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 1, 4, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 1, 4, 4, 1, 2, 4, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 1, 1, 2, 1, 4, 4, 4. All right, so those are the fingerings that you're going to use, and you may sort of realize what I was saying before about some of them being awkward. You're sort of going between first finger G and F natural a lot. You're hopping back and forth between these strings when it would be much easier in context to just do this and be shifting between first and second and third. And yes, there would be a better fingering for this, but remember, it's a second position exercise. One tip I have for you is when you have to go from, say, second finger A over to fourth finger F and then right back to second finger A, keep your second finger down so that you don't lose it, okay? So there are times when you have to go back and forth, and I would just keep that finger where it was. Now there is something that has to happen with the arm in order to cross that string. We have to pivot just a little bit. To go to a lower string, our elbow needs to come just a little bit closer to the center of our body. So let's say from A natural to F natural. Now I can still hold on to that A. I don't have to let it go. But in order to find that F natural, I'm just going to pivot a little bit. The other thing I'm doing, I'm thinking about a 3-4 finger pattern right there. So as you are working on this, I would recommend having a tuner on your stand or using a drone, an F drone or an F major chord drone, just to check things. And if you're unsure, just record yourself and listen back. That can be a really good way to sort of tell. It can be hard while we're playing to tell for sure. Rhythmically, there's nothing super crazy going on. We have eighth notes, we have quarter notes, we're familiar with those. The main thing is in the dotted quarter notes. Make sure that you are subdividing. So let's take, for example, measure 7. We have this. This is a spot where it's going to be important to be thinking about eighth notes because we want to place that last eighth note exactly in the right spot. So I would be thinking this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So thinking about 3 and 4 for that dotted quarter note, thinking about those 3 eighth notes. Anytime you have a long rhythm, dotted quarter, half note, dotted half, whole note, be thinking about the subdivided smaller rhythmic divisions, and that will help you really place it exactly where it's supposed to be. Notice also there's a difference between the slurred bowing and the hooked bowing. So in measure 7, this is a slurred bowing. So we're just going to have a smooth bow. The bow is just doing this, and our fingers are moving. But then look at measure 9. We have a slur, but then we have tenuto markings. Anytime you have a slur and then you have an articulation of some kind, that's going to be a hooked bowing. So take a look at measure 9. This is going to be down, up, stop, and then up again. And then it happens again. Right? So hooked bowing, up, up, down, rather than. So this means you're going to re-articulate this. We have some dynamics in here as well. Mezzo forte goes to mezzo piano, goes to mezzo forte, mezzo piano. Then we have a forte, nice and loud in measure 9. That goes down, back up, back down. There are lots of crescendos and decrescendos. A lot of these are sort of between mezzo forte and mezzo piano. So it seems like maybe these should be really super duper subtle. However, I would argue for an audition, especially where your adjudicators are looking at the score, make it more dramatic than maybe you think you should, because having a great dynamic range really will set you apart in an audition setting. I mean, you have to have great intonation, great rhythm, great tone, all this stuff, but having a great dynamic range will be a big help as well. So during those crescendos, make it big. During those decrescendos, come down a lot. And make sure that your dynamic contrast is coming through. Recording yourself can be a great way to double check these things and make sure that what you're hearing under your left ear is what your audience is hearing. All right, so I hope this video was somewhat helpful to you. If I left anything out or forgot something or you're confused about something, let me know and I would be happy to try to address it either in another video or in some other way to make sure that you have all the information that you want to have. Otherwise, I wish you the very best of luck in your audition, and as always, happy practicing.